economy dominates voters' minds across races. ABC News exit polls indicate voters in Virginia, New Jersey, and New York City express their concerns and priorities in the upcoming elections, with the economy taking center stage. Virginia, the economy is the top concern for Virginia voters, with nearly half citing it as the most pressing issue. Healthcare follows, with about 20% prioritizing it, while immigration and education each receive around 10% of the attention. Crime, on the other hand, is a lower priority for most. Virginia voters' economic outlook is mixed. While most acknowledge the state's economy is doing well, only a small fraction believe their personal finances are improving. Many are feeling the pinch of federal government cuts, with about 60% reporting that these cuts impacted their family's finances, and 20% stating it affected them significantly. Despite the positive economic outlook, many Virginia residents are employed or have been employed by the federal government or as contractors, and many are currently furloughed. This issue is particularly relevant as Election Day marks the 35th day of the government shutdown. Other key findings include 50% of voters believe the Trump administration's immigration enforcement actions have gone too far. 60% support legal abortion in most cases. 50% feel that support for transgender rights has gone too far. When choosing a gubernatorial candidate, values, honesty, and representation are top priorities. 60% are dissatisfied or angry with the country's current state, with 30% expressing anger. 50% find the Attorney General candidate's texts disqualifying. New Jersey taxes and the economy are the primary concerns for New Jersey voters, with nearly 40% prioritizing taxes and a third focusing on the economy. Healthcare, immigration, and crime are mentioned less frequently. The economic sentiment is similar to Virginia's, with 60% describing the state's economy as not so good or poor, and 40% as excellent or good. New Jersey voters are also critical of property taxes, with 70% considering them a major issue, and a slight majority supporting the Republican candidate on this issue. Other notable points: 50% of voters believe the Trump administration's immigration actions have gone too far, while 50% want the next governor to cooperate on immigration. 50% feel that support for transgender rights has gone too far, with 25% on either side of the debate. When selecting a gubernatorial candidate, change, values, and representation are key. 60% are dissatisfied or angry with the country's current state, with 40% expressing anger. 90% acknowledge political corruption as a problem, with 50% considering it a major issue. New York City. The cost of living is the most pressing issue for New York City voters, with over 50% prioritizing it. Crime and immigration are mentioned less frequently, with only a quarter and a tenth of voters, respectively, considering them the most important issues. The city's economic situation is concerning, with 60% describing it as not so good or poor, and only 30% as excellent or good. Housing costs are a significant problem for almost 3/4 of voters. When it comes to mayoral candidates, voters are divided. Change, experience, and representation are all considered important qualities, with no single factor dominating the preferences.